Hi everybody, welcome to Caketastic Cakes. It's Jen and I'm going to show you how to make the legs of the father from the movie Onward out of gumpaste. Now just like always, if you guys have any tools that you need or see me using some supplies or whatever that would help you out, check in the description below. I have a lot of links set up that should be able to help you. And now to do our pants. I didn't know what to call this because the dad's name in the movie Onward is Wilden Lightfoot, and it pretty much never comes up, and it's like his lower half. So do you call it the legs from the dad? But whatever. All right, we're making the bottom half of the dad from Onward. All right, you saw me make a hot dog out of some light beige because we're making his nice pair of slacks. I cut it down the middle. Then rolled each leg to make a nice round leg out of it, and then bend it up. Use my knife blade right there, get a sharp crease in those legs so it looks like he's sitting down. I put two little marks there to make it look like the fly of his slacks, and I'm pinching around the top just to kind of give the top of his pants a nice sharp edge. And yeah, the rest is just details. That we've made a pair of pants. That's all you need. I'm putting just a groove down each side on the outside to make kind of the outside of the seam of his pants, putting a little line on either side to make his front pockets, putting a line up the middle, give him a little butt crack, and putting two lines on the sides and then one, see, like that, on each side to give him his back pants pockets. I'm using a lollipop stick here just to keep the bend of him pretty nice and sharp to make it so that it does look like he could be sitting upward, like he sits in the movie for, here and there. I'm using my X-Acto knife, trimming off the end of the pants there to give him a nice sharp cuff at the bottom. Speaking of cuffs, rolled out the same beige, nice and thin, cut a skinny little strip, putting it around the edge of the pants, as you see. Just trim off the extra with the X-Acto knife. And I'm using water to connect it, just to kind of finish off the look of his pants. Make sure they're nice and pressed and sharp looking. Yes, because apparently he was very good at wearing nice pants. I don't know. I don't know much about the man except he died and it was sad. Oh my gosh. Anyway, purple socks, right? We know that much about him. He wore purple socks all the time. So I took some purple, rolled it out nice and thick there, kind of cut it into logs basically, like little wedges. I pinched off the edges just like I did on the top of the pants to make it have a nice sharper edge so it would go up against the pants better. And as you can see, I'm using a little piece of dried spaghetti to attach them so they have a good strong anchor, something to support it. And when I attach the shoes on the end of it, they'll stand up nice and straight. They won't fall over or anything. Okay, I'm just stuck them on. Make sure that they're smaller than the width of the pants because in theory he's got legs and ankles that are thinner. He's not all cankly. And yeah, now we're getting into the shoes. I just made a couple of brown loafers. I rolled it out so it was still pretty thick, but not too thick though, because they're loafers. They're not real thick or clunky shoes. And I just kind of trimmed them off to make them a little bit more angular. And I set it on top of another piece of the brown gum paste that I rolled out thinner to make the sole of the shoe. I just used some water to connect the two and then used the shoe itself to trim off around the sole. You see? See how I did that? So I got a nice thin layer. I'm using my blade there to make a mark to make it look like the heel is separate from the rest of the sole. And I'm doing it again. I'm just using the same shoe now, trimming off from the same thicker piece as before. And once I get that, I will put it on top of the thin piece again. But this way it's the same size and the same shape. So I'm keeping everything, pretty symmetrical, or as symmetrical as I can get anyway. And there I go. I put it back onto another piece of real skinny, rolled out brown, trim it off so it matches up. And now I've got the sole of his shoe as well as the first one. Put a little mark just like the first one. Stick them on there. If your a spaghetti stick is too thin or too long, you're going to have to trim it down so you don't bust through the bottom of a shoe. And there you go. You got his little pants and his little socks, little purple socks and little shoes. I'm using my brown food coloring marker to color in a belt. I made just a square in the center and a little line to make like the little prong, I guess, of the belt, where it goes through the holes. I'm just coloring in some brown rectangles on either side, doing the same thing on each actual side. And then I put a couple more on the back, and now he's got his pants and his belt. Okay, I let these harden. I let them sit overnight. I took my lollipop stick out, plugged it up with the same color. I'm adding some water, and I'm kind of doing this carefully around the inside of the pants. I can't create the glowing light effect, but I can make it kind of sparkly. So I'm taking some of my blue sugar crystals that I got from who knows where, probably local cake supply store I have near me. And I'm very carefully just kind of spreading it out. I'm trying to get it up to the edge of the pants as close as I can without it going over, just to give it that kind of blue light sparkly effect that it has. And the water that we painted in will help kind of hold all the crystals in place so they won't scatter everywhere. You will have to be careful, of course, because it is piled up. But yeah, there you go. You got a nice little cheaty kind of shortcut there to make the pants from the movie Onward. Add it to your Ian, and they actually go pretty darn well together. So I hope you found this video helpful to making your awesome Onward cake. Please like and subscribe because that helps me out. And as always, guys, check out my other videos, and thank you for watching Caketastic Cakes.